What if I told you that the tragic death at age 33 of the martial arts legend Bruce Lee was foreseen by one man years in advance? But what if that prophecy didn't come from a mystic, but was instead uttered by his own master, the one who best understood every breath, every movement of his student? And what if that deadly prophecy originated from a seemingly casual, almost joking remark? Today, we will not just retell the story of a martial arts legend. We will journey back in time together, stepping into an old martial arts school in Hong Kong to begin our quest to uncover the mystery behind the chilling warning that Grandmaster Ip Man gave to his most brilliant, most arrogant disciple, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. Just hearing the name, the world envisions an immortal icon. A proud dragon of Asian martial arts who shook Hollywood to its core. A philosopher, a man who redefined the concepts of power and speed. Films like Enter the Dragon or Fist of Fury were not just action movies. They are legacies, sources of inspiration for millions. But before becoming the world's dragon, Bruce Lee was just a rebellious teenager, a cunning disciple of Ip Man, the Grandmaster of Wing Chun. Bruce Lee's talent was undeniable. It is said that in the quiet space of the martial arts hall, where other students took months to absorb a form, the young Lee needed only a few days. He was intelligent, sly, and would even block his classmates at the door, lying that the master had canceled class just to monopolize his teacher's instruction. Ip Man, with the eyes of a grandmaster, naturally saw through it all. He saw the flame of genius burning brightly in his student, but at the same time, he also saw the hidden corners, the potential cracks within that very flame. Their master-student relationship was not a smooth one. It was like a Wing Chun match, full of transformations, sometimes close, sometimes distant, sometimes hard, sometimes soft. The breaking point of their rift came when Bruce Lee, carrying great ambitions, set foot in America. Before he left, Ip Man had instructed him that Chinese martial arts were the essence of the nation and should not be taught carelessly to foreigners. It was a belief deeply ingrained in the consciousness of the older generation of martial artists, an oath of honor, and Bruce Lee had promised. But then, in America, to survive, to prove himself, and perhaps to promote martial arts to a wider audience, Bruce Lee opened a school and taught Wing Chun to Westerners. This groundbreaking decision seemed to be the turning point that helped him build his name, connect with major figures in the martial arts world, and open the door to Hollywood. But it also dug a deep chasm between him and his master. When he had become a famous star, Bruce Lee returned to Hong Kong. He sought out Ip Man, offering to buy his master a luxurious house in exchange for learning the final essence of Wing Chun that he had not fully grasped in his youth. It was a generous offer, but Ip Man, knowing his student had broken his vow, flatly refused. Not a word of explanation, only a heavy silence. From that day on, Bruce Lee never asked Ip Man another question about Wing Chun. He returned to America, carrying the wounded pride of a genius, and founded Jeet Kune, a martial art of his own, a philosophy of his own. The master-student relationship seemed to have ended in silence. But there was one thing Bruce Lee never knew. His master was always watching him with a complex and worried gaze. Bruce Lee's life was at the pinnacle of fame. Films like Enter the Dragon and Fist of Fury had turned him into a global superstar. But then, on July 20th, 1973, news shocked the world. Bruce Lee had suddenly died at the age of 33. a mysterious and convoluted death. The world was stunned. But somewhere, perhaps the spirit of Ip Man, who had passed away not long before, was not surprised at all. The story goes that many years earlier, during a practice session at the school, Ip Man quietly observed his favorite student. Then he suddenly dropped a cold remark. This man has the stance of someone destined for a short life. Everyone around was astonished. A statement that seemed like a joke, yet it cast an unbelievable chill in the air. The students pressed for an explanation, but Ip Man remained silent. It wasn't until the third time they asked that he slowly explained, and this explanation is the key for us to solve the mystery behind Bruce Lee's death years later. He said, "Bruce Lee was born with a minor defect in his legs. When he walks, his heels don't touch the ground, and his body bounces up and down. An ordinary person would hardly notice, but that is the gait of a man fated to die young." The gait of a man fated to die young. A tiny detail, a physical flaw that most people, including Bruce Lee himself at first, thought was the result of rigorous martial arts training, helping the body become light and agile. But in the eyes of an Eastern martial arts master who understood both combat and medicine, it was a deadly sign. That prophecy hung in the air of the school, and then it came true in the most brutal way. So, was this a supernatural prophecy? Or was there a hidden truth behind it, a terrifyingly profound understanding of a person's mind and body? There is a story told by his fellow students. Years later, when he was famous, during a visit to his master, the first thing Bruce Lee wanted to show off wasn't his Hollywood achievements, but the fact that he had corrected the flaw of his youth. He proudly performed a squat, his heels now able to touch the ground completely. He had changed his short life stance, but upon witnessing this, Ip Man was not pleased. He just remained silent. What did his silence mean? Perhaps because Ip Man understood that the flaw in the heels was only an external manifestation. The true, short-life stance of Bruce Lee lay deep within his character. It was the perfectionism that pushed his body and spirit to the absolute limit. Bruce Lee didn't just train, he always set the highest standards for himself. He wanted every punch to be faster, every kick to be stronger. He didn't allow himself a single moment of weakness. The pressure of fame, the obsession with always being the best, was eroding him from the inside. A practitioner of martial arts must not only cultivate their skills, but also cultivate the mind and nurture one's character. Bruce Lee had changed his gait, but he had not changed his nature. He was still a flame that burned too intensely, and such a flame, no matter how brilliant, cannot burn for long. His mysterious death, though concluded by the hospital to be due to cerebral edema from an allergic reaction to a painkiller, remains a controversial topic with countless conspiracy theories. But perhaps the deepest cause had been seen by his master many years before. Ip Man's prophecy, in the end, was not a curse, but a warning about the price of perfection, about the danger of an iron will that never knew how to rest. It was the insight of a master who taught not only martial arts, but also how to be a person, how to survive. And that is the final chapter in our journey to uncover the mystery of a master's warning to a legendary figure. A story of talent, rebellion, and a destiny that seemed to be written in every footstep. What do you think? Was this a prophecy of fate, an unsolvable historical secret, or simply the profound understanding of a great master for his student? The hidden truth may never be fully brought to light. Is a person's destiny truly written in the way they walk? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Dear friends, if you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe to join us as we continue to explore the most shocking mysteries yet to come. Thank you for staying with us until the end. See you in the next video.